Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
This week, we're going on a spaceship adventure with Pee Wee Herman as our guide and Miami Vice as our soundtrack.
Flight of the Navigator from 1986. Compliance!
When you're just growing up, every day is a new discovery. But nothing David Freeman has ever experienced will prepare him for the adventure that lies ahead.
Sit down.
I think there's been some sort of mistake.
Your brain contains data necessary to get me and my friends home.
I'm just a kid.
You are the Navigator.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a new adventure fantasy.
What are you doing?
Above and beyond the ordinary.
Take me back!
Okay.
Oh no!
Flight of the Navigator.
Do something!
You're the Navigator, not me.
20,000 feet and falling.
Come on, one of these hasn't started.
His mind is the key to an adventure on the most fantastic hot rod in the universe. A story of a spaceship.
That flying saucer's first rate.
Be cool, dudes.
A friendship.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'm going to miss you, too.
And an experience beyond imagination.
Don't you want to take a turnpike?
I'm the Navigator.
Flight of the Navigator. Disney's new adventure fantasy.
Can I ask, how did this pass you by? How have you not seen this? Because you're like the target audience for this movie when it came out.
I was a little bit young. I was 6 years old. In Wyoming at 6 years old, it's just like, that's okay.
But even still, like, after that, he would have gotten things a couple years later in Wyoming, so I just...
Well, no, but it just never came up. Like, I know it never came up on TV. It never was like the movie of the week. Because you gotta remember, how I saw a lot of movies was back in the day, the broadcast channels like Channel 13, Channel 11, stuff like that, all day long they would run just random weird-ass movies.
I mean, this is pretty random.
But this wasn't one of them, because it would have been a kind of new movie back then.
Oh, I guess that's probably true.
So a lot of these kind of movies like that, I just never had the opportunity to see, because, let me tell you this, I was not going to go rent a quote-unquote kids movie. There's no fucking way that was happening.
I mean, I've definitely seen this. I hadn't seen it a lot, but it lived somewhere in that weird part of your brain of movies, obscure movies that you watch as a child.
Yeah.
That you can just sort of fringe level remember. This is definitely one of those, because I remembered the first...
Fringe, huh? Little fringe in there.
I remembered the first half of the movie. I didn't remember anything about the rest of it. Like, I remembered the premise, like the setup. I remembered the setup, but that was about it.
This movie is fucking great, though. I really like it.
Of course you do.
It's great. It's like the first season of Stranger Things or something.
It's very good. I think there could have been a few things that would have made it great, but no, just there's a couple missed opportunities, I think. But it's really, really good though. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's fucking weird.
It is super weird,
yeah.
And it has a lot of moments that I'm like, what? This is so tropey. Oh my god! Yeah, there was just a lot of things in this movie that were just special.
Do you want to get into that synopsis?
Sure.
Synopsis.
Flight of the Navigator from 1986. Science fiction, action, adventure. David Freeman is an ordinary boy destined for a most extraordinary adventure aboard a spectacular futuristic spacecraft. After a mystifying disappearance, David returns possessing vast, undiscovered knowledge about the farthest reaches of the universe. With these sudden navigational powers, David is able to take a fantastic flying machine anywhere he desires. Accompanied by both his wisecracking robotic commander Max and an assortment of bizarre extraterrestrial creatures.
Do the extraterrestrial creatures really matter?
No.
That's like a throwaway scene.
But that's what I mean, is that they could have done more of
I don't need them
that.
I didn't need them to do anything else.
And less of, like, FBI chasing that didn't really amount to anything. I don't know.
It did amount to something.
It
literally amounted to the end of the movie. What are you talking about?
They could have tightened up that whole section where he's flying it and added, like, another scene with the creatures or with, to make it funny. Or...
I would have rather them landed one more time, because every time they landed, it was fucking hilarious.
That's what I mean. They could have added one more scene, like all the creatures get out and he has to, like, gather them back up or something.
I just don't see that. Maybe it's just me, but I don't find that there's any fat on this movie to cut off.
I felt like him flying spaceship was a little long. I just wish they would have added, like you said, one more landing, one more gas station type scene. That would have been great.
Like to go to the mall or something.
Right, and he has to gather all the creatures. Come on, it would have been great.
He's like, I pooped my pants. I need a new piece of underwear. Let's go to the mall.
Maybe not that graphic, but something like that.
Kmart. Kmart would have been the best in 1986. That's like the height of Kmart.
You could have, just so many, another set of perfect 80s references. Would have been great.
Yeah.
So the director, Randall Kleiser.
He directed Grease.
So random.
Go Grease Lightning. Go Grease Lightning.
And The Blue Lagoon.
And Big Top Pee Wee.
I very nicely explained that I was starving. I'm starving! Please!
Sorry, ladies. I guess you'll just have to wait. You remember, no one is as important in this community as Pee Wee Herman.
Which is obviously why that guy's in this movie. And
well, Big Top Pee Wee was after this.
Oh, okay. Well, so maybe he decided from this to work with him again. We'll see him again when he directs White Fang.
Yeah, I was like, what? White Fang? And then I was like, oh shit, that's a movie we have to watch that I've never even thought of.
A Boy and His Wolf, I think. I'm just guessing.
I think it's something like that meets Nikki. I don't know. I don't remember.
8 Below meets Nikki. God, do you remember how horrible 8 Below was with the dogs fucking biting the dust every other scene? Fucking horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It totally random. I guess I just was like, wow, this is a weird collection of movies.
It's weird for us to get a director that's actually done actual movies and this not just be his first movie, but this was far from his first movie.
No, definitely not his first. Quite a lot after.
Yeah.
The writers, however...
haven't done shit.
Nothing.
They all wrote this movie and then, like, one other thing.
Well, no, the Phil Joannou guy, he does a ton of U2 music videos.
That's not writing anything.
No,
he wrote a movie called Entropy.
They just haven't done much of anything.
Yeah, there was Shoot to Kill, which is actually kind of an interesting movie. With Kirstie Alley and... oh shit, now I forgot the guy's name. Sidney Poitier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is she like a spy?
I don't think that she has that kind of range in acting.
Well, she's dead, so...
Kirstie Alley was kind of just Kirstie Alley.
Okay, and I was surprised that the main kid, Joey Kramer, he didn't do anything else, really.
Until now. Now he's in like... there's like 3 movies that he's come out with in the last 2 years.
So, okay, I wonder... Spoiler to fun fact. If it's because they made in 2020, they released a documentary about this movie.
Maybe.
Because that kid, he was arrested for robbing a bank.
Sweet.
Like as a teenager.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if maybe this is like his comeback or something.
He's a bad boy.
But yeah, he was okay. I kept confusing him for other child actors, but that's fine.
I thought he was fine. I didn't have any problem with him. He's a child actor. They're all terrible.
Yeah. Just so dramatic. Kids are so dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where's my mom and dad?
But also, in real life, kids are so dramatic. So it's
true.
Kind of like, yeah, that's why they're all terrible on TV, because in real life, kids are so dramatic. So, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. They see it in real life. And then, of course... Dee's favorite.
Max, Pee Wee Herman.
Paul Rubens. Which, okay,
Pee Wee.
When that was happening, like when he changed into the other voice, I was like, oh, so apparently this guy has to become Pee Wee Herman now? Like, what is going on? And then it turns out it was Pee Wee Herman.
It was Pee Wee the whole time. He turned into a douche instead.
Maybe that's the difference, is that you love Pee Wee Herman. I can't stand Pee Wee Herman.
Well, no, because to me, I actually... The one grating thing I didn't like is that Max became a douche after he did the brain scan. Okay, I can do without this part.
So annoying.
I much preferred compliance.
Yeah, it was more...
Compliance was much better.
On character for what it should be.
Yeah. Well, no, it makes sense that he scanned his brain and kind of took all these human elements and became a douche. That actually kind of tracks in a way that doesn't usually track in a sci-fi movie. I kind of appreciated it, but it was grating.
Correct, sir.
So, did Pee Wee Herman stuff, was it popular when he would have, in 1980 or 78?
No, there was no such thing as Pee Wee Herman in 1978.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't like, see, it would have been better if he was like taking things that were popular.
But he was, that's all he was doing, was taking things that were popular in 1978.
Yeah, but in like a Pee Wee Herman voice, which is so...
but it's just his voice, it's just Pee Wee's voice.
No, I know, but it just...
But he wasn't going like, he wasn't doing like the full Pee Wee.
He did it a little bit.
Nah, he really... It's way muted. It's way muted Pee Wee. I was okay. I didn't have a problem with that.
I did. And then the dad and the mom both looked super familiar, like so familiar.
Well, and I was like confused at first. Why is the mom 52?
Oh gosh.
When they showed her at first, it's like, who's this fucking old? Who's his grandma? What is his grandma?
Yeah, she looked younger when she was older.
I know. They fucked this up. I don't understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
It's like, this bitch, when they introduced her, oh, is this his grandma?
It's the haircut. The haircut is bad.
Oh, and the clothes. The clothes were just god-awful.
But that's Southern Florida white people clothes in the 80s. That's how everybody dressed. Because even before they said it was Florida, I said, this looks like fucking Florida. And it was Florida. And
it was very Florida.
Oh my God.
Very Florida.
Push it to the limit.
God, the music in
oh
this
my
is
God.
so great.
Okay, that's
that.
the best part.
Yeah.
So speaking of the mom,
she was like a superstar.
Veronica Cartwright, yeah, she's been in all kinds of stuff. Alien, Witches of Eastwick, The Birds. But she's been a cameo in every single TV show you've ever seen.
Yeah, pretty much.
But she was also had a recurring role in X-Files as the Spender guy's like mom, because her name is Cassandra Spender.
Oh yeah, she is the grandma in that.
So
right.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey would never do anything to hurt you.
Right. She's very good.
Yeah, she's fucking great. The underutilized in this movie.
Yeah.
No, like there's basically like nothing. And then the dad, Cliff DeYoung, he's a TV villain in almost every TV show you've ever seen, but really nothing else.
Whoa. He's in The Craft, which is every girl's like favorite movie. I'm just saying.
But he's a villain in that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Or he's like a parent. I can't remember.
A parent
exactly.
villain, yeah.
But
he plays the same like dickhead dad dude, except for not in this movie, but in every other movie.
He's definitely not a dickhead in this movie.
That's what I mean. In every other TV show and movie, the guy plays a dick. Like, as soon as I saw his picture when he was old, I was like, oh, you're that guy. I recognize you.
Yeah, very 80s. And then when we saw the opening credits, I was like, SJP?
What?
Sarah Jessica Parker, what is this?
And she just plays some floozy cart-giving...
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
Food giver.
I have a lot to say about that.
Could be. You know something? You're a weird kid.
Me?
I'm not the one with the purple hair. Oh, yeah. I went to a concert with some friends last night.
Really? My mom took me to see the Bee Gees a couple months ago. Who'd you see?
Twisted Sister. Never heard of her. It's a hymn.
This is like, because I was trying to figure out where this was in her career. It's like right
early.
Well, it's right before she did that Year in a Life show or whatever that was on for like 30 episodes. It was like one of those 80s, 90s.
I don't think I ever saw that show.
Oh, and then it was...
Which is weird because I know everything about TV.
Yeah, and it's 6 years before Hocus Pocus.
A Year in the Life?
Yeah, it's one of those like My So-Called Life kind of only went for one or two seasons.
Yeah, but this is way before that. Really? Huh.
Yeah, she was on 26 episodes of that.
Yeah, so that's one season.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 6 years before Hocus Pocus, we'll see her again in that, so...
I didn't know she was in that.
Oh, she is. She is great in Hocus Pocus, by the way. She's like my favorite character in that movie.
Wow. I can't imagine her being a favorite in anything.
No, she actually wasn't that annoying in this movie. She was fine in this. Kind of...
Well, yeah. I was almost surprised that you could believe her as a sympathetic character. It's like, really, this bitch that's been fucking...
Whenever I try to think about Sarah Jessica Parker, other than thinking about Sex and the City, obviously, but... So as a family, when I was young, we went to see a movie called The Family Stone, which is a Christmas movie, and it has the two main female, like, young characters are Sarah Jessica Parker and Claire Danes. We go out of the movie theater. We're in the car. And my mom says, oh my God, I just can't stand that woman. She has such a horse face. No. And we said, oh, Sarah Jessica Parker? No, the other one, Claire Danes.
They're both a little equine.
But it's if you're going to say somebody is horse-faced, it's Sarah Jessica Parker.
But no, she didn't get horse face till she got older.
Well, she's older in this movie. The Family Stone is like 2005.
Oh, yeah, she was definitely horse face.
Yeah. So I'm just saying,
but Claire Danes also has a different kind of equine face.
But it was so funny because my
both of them.
my dad, my brother, and all of us were in the car, and we were like, what? And my dad's face was like, no, you were... It was just so funny, because we thought she was talking about Sarah Jessica Parker for a good solid 10 minutes, and then we were like, oh no, you're talking about the other one.
And then we had Faraday, who's Howard Hesseman, and he was huge on like WKRP in Cincinnati and head of the class, but he was also a big-time character actor, another guy who's just a villain in everything.
So I kept thinking, as the movie was going on, he's that other guy, the guy that you like so much. He was like the villain guy in Coneheads with David Spade. He was in X-Files, the one where Scully is like, or Mulder like switches bodies with him.
Oh, the guy that's in... No. It's not...
No, I know.
Yeah.
But what's that guy's name?
Oh my god.
I can't remember his name. Hold on, what is his...
This is terrible. I mean...
You love him.
Yeah, I love him. He's great. He's the villain in Airheads. I mean, he is... excellent.
Michael McKean.
Yeah, Michael McKean.
Yeah, so I kept thinking it was that guy. Every time he came on screen, like his face would kind of just like amalgamate into like his face. And I was like, no, it's not that guy.
They do play similar roles often.
Yeah. But I kept having to tell myself, no, it's not that guy. And this
guy's a comedic actor in the same way. So it's like, they do have a crossover kind of potential, but this guy's no Michael McKean. Mm-mm. Michael McKean is fucking amazing.
No, I kept thinking about that guy, though. Every time he came on screen, I was like, no, that's not that guy. Stop thinking about that. And I don't know if that ever happens to you with actors, but...
No, not usually.
Just me, I'm crazy.
Just kill me.
So, fun facts?
Fun facts.
What you got?
Pee Wee is credited in this movie as Paul Mall because he wanted to keep the mystery of the voice like a secret. Like he was... Because he wasn't, like, quite the Pee Wee yet. He didn't have his own show.
Okay, so this is pre-Pee Wee everything.
Yeah, before Pee Wee was, like, Super Pee Wee.
Super Pee Wee. Okay, so, interestingly, the main kid, Joey Kramer, was frequently misidentified as the E.T. kid, which came out 3 years before this, and I thought it was the fucking E.T. kid the entire movie. I thought, I was like, that's the E.T. kid.
Even though later in the movie, which we'll get through, when they land at the gas station, the kid just wanted to phone home. That was hilarious.
It was hilarious. But I thought, and so I'm guilty of that too. He was frequently misidentified as that kid, like out in public and stuff like that.
I understand like the basic imprint resemblance, but
and maybe that's why he ended up going down a dark path. I'm not the E.T. kid! Fuck off!
Fuck you, man. I didn't get to bang Drew Barrymore. The kid we didn't talk about, the older Jeff, Matt Adler.
Uh-huh.
Him and his daughter went trick-or-treating, and they rang the doorbell of the mom's house 22 years after they filmed this.
Oh my god. What a cool dad.
Totally coincidental.
Oh.
And like they met again, like, oh my god, like, whoa, we haven't talked in 22 years.
You mean the actress.
The actress, yeah, literally. Okay. Like, those two people just 22 years later happened to cross paths, even though they never talked to each other after that. I just thought that was fun enough. I was like, wow, that's pretty fun.
That is very fun. Yeah. It's so fun. One of the prop holes of the ship was refurbished, and it's the topper of a snack stand in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom.
That's rad.
And so now I'm like, man, I want to go back to Magic Kingdom to spot it.
I think it might have been the place that we got the
Peter Pan float?
No. The place that we got the tail thing.
Maybe. It's possible.
I'm pretty sure it was that.
But it's there.
Yeah. So. If not, you might be right about the float. It's got to be one of those two things.
It's somewhere in, like,
because
Tomorrowland.
Now that you say that, I feel like I've seen it. I was like, I think I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And my last one is Kat's friend SJP has no recollection of making this movie.
Oh, was she high the whole time?
No, she was just like, wait, that was just a part from me. I don't really know. I don't know anything about it. I don't really care about it. It's just like, whatever. Well, yeah, I'm kind of trying to outline that she's a fucking cunt.
Damn, I have no recollection of making that movie. Last one I have is, and at the time when we were watching it, I was like, that's random. When they pull up in the car to the house at the beginning of the movie, You're the One That I Want from Grease is playing.
You're the only one I want.
Because 1978 was the year that Grease came out, and the guy directed it, so that makes sense that's why he chose that song. But I thought it was random. I was like, that's a random choice for a song, but it's because it was 1978. And I'm just gonna cut all that out.
It's fine, I don't care.
Because look at that, it's so loud. Okay.
You can put it at the end. Wow.
That sounds like a great way to alienate our listeners. Stay tuned to the end to have your eardrum blown out. Mine, meanwhile, just being blown out in the intro. Okay, so we're gonna fly our way through this, navigate our way through this, obviously.
Navigate, obviously.
Yeah, navigate. Obviously. Duh, what a fucking moron.
So we open the movie with a 10 out of 10, 150 out of 100 intro of dogs catching frisbees.
In the style of Top Gun beach volleyball.
Yeah. This was the best intro to a movie I have ever seen.
Okay, but...
Easily the best movie intro ever.
How are you not thinking Top Gun volleyball?
No, you're right.
I was like, what is this?
It's just dogs, not always catching, but trying to catch frisbees over and over again. This movie's magical.
For a solid 7 minutes. Like, it just went on forever.
I was really hoping that this was going to be about dogs and frisbees, but it was not.
It really had no bearing on the rest of the movie.
It really, other than, oh, hey, what was their dog's name? Like Brutalizer? Bruiser, yeah. I was just like, oh my god, this is awesome.
No, the dog caught a frisbee once later in the movie from the brother. But no, it had no bearing on the rest of the movie, except for they cut and they're like, the 1978 Frisbee Dog Championship, and the people's clothes and the whole thing and the music. I was like, damn, this feels like Miami or something. And
I just thought it was great. I'm a huge Frisbee fan. I'm a huge dog fan.
And it was a lot, but it definitely came out with a bang. That's for sure.
And he's like, oh, man, Bruiser, you're going to be the best Frisbee dog in the world later on.
And the dog's just, like, gumming the Frisbee. Like, I don't want to do anything. I'm dumb.
And his little douchebag brother, that dog's a fucktard.
Well, he says he's so dumb. He's like, don't call him that. How about retarded? Yeah. And just that's what they say in the movie, so we're just repeating it.
His little brother is... literally the worst person on the planet.
He's horrible. Because
if that kid would have been my little brother, I would have drowned him.
So, because the kid is constantly just messing with him, and they're in the car, and of course the parents are like, oh, leave your little brother alone. And he's like, Dad. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, come on. That kid's a little jerk.
Yeah, listen to that little jerk talk. Why don't you fucking drown that kid?
And this is where I'm like, kids are so dramatic, because the little brother gets out to go play with his friends, and he's like taunting his older brother's like, you won't live to see your 9th birthday. Exactly. I'm just like, damn, you're dramatic.
Although I do, that is the one other flaw that I find in this. It's the older brother that would be jumping out to play with his friends, not vice versa.
Right. Well, I kind of get the feeling this guy's kind of a loser.
Really? Why, though? Like, he's cool. I don't understand that.
I mean, but that's, like, because the girl rides by, which, okay, I'm just going to say it now. That girl should have been, like, younger SJP.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
That's how it should have been. It should have been her.
You're right. You're 100% right. It should have been her.
Because they could have had a moment of, David, and she's like, what? And then...
I used to think you were so hot on your bike when you were young.
At the end of the movie, they could have had a flash forward.
Okay, I agree that is the one plot hole.
It's in the same vein of Sword and the Stone and the Squirrels. It's the same type of missed romantic...
It could have been the whole reason he wanted to go... Well, no, the reason he wanted to go back was fine. But it is a missed opportunity. I agree with you.
Like, she could have helped him escape the whole thing,
Since it's the same town and everything, I mean, yeah, okay, she's just a low-level peon.
Right.
She's delivering meals with a cheap robot.
I just think it would have been cool if she helped him escape and, like, was on the thing and they, like, had bonding moments on the aircraft. Like, that would have made him...
And they were like...
No, he's 12. But no, then it could have made him going back and seeing her and she has, like, no idea. And then, they could have been, he'd been like...
But he knows, so now he knows how to take advantage of her and groom her.
I mean, maybe not that, that dark. But I'm just saying it could have been it could have made the parts... with him flying around the plane more interesting to have Sarah Jessica Parker there with him. That could have made that part more interesting.
Because, spoiler, he comes back in time with all of his memories intact.
Right.
He knows what's going to happen in the future, sort of.
Right. So, just saying, it's really missed opportunity. Anyways, but he's spying on this girl in his room, and his dad comes up and is all, oh, I see, you do have a crush on da-da-da-da-da.
And the dad's like, yeah, you need to go talk to her. Go ahead and get out there in the real world, or you're never going to get laid, dude. Like, go on. Yeah.
And his mom makes him go, like, pick up his brother.
Out in the woods, and he's like, he's out in the woods and he's explaining to his dog, like, his midlife crisis.
Yeah, I don't know what I want out of life anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, man.
As a 12-year-old.
Well, it's because he's dropping pubes and now all he wants is chicks.
Right.
Then his brother scares him in the woods by falling out of a tree onto him, and he hears Bruiser goes back.
Yeah.
He hears something, and he falls down a ravine and cracks his skull. Yeah. And this is where actually the kid dies, and the rest of the movie's just a dream.
Oh my god. But no, you have no idea that time has passed. I mean, at this point, I did because I knew the premise. But, he wakes up, Bruiser's not there, he goes back to the house, some old lady answers and is like, what? And he just barges into the house, he's like, where's my mom?
But at this point, wouldn't the people know that they bought the house from the kid that was missing? And they'd be like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, especially since missing kids were high profile at that point.
Maybe real estate was just different back then without Zillow and the internet.
I mean...
You just had no idea who was there before.
Yeah, and it is...
And they're just like old Jews from New York that bought a house down in Fort Lauderdale like everybody else. They're like, what? I don't know from you, kid. What?
Well, and it's Florida. There's like 5 million missing kids. So
that's true, too. I mean...
Gators.
Like missing, what?
Yeah.
Gators... Rapists, Ted Bundy.
Yeah, just all...
The whole thing.
All of it.
All the 9 yards.
Okay, so then he goes... They take him to the police station. The police, they find the old missing persons thing, and they're like, look at the year. Oh my god, what?
What? And they reunite him, quote unquote, with his parents.
Who are old now.
But somehow the lady looks younger, and the dude... legitimately doesn't look like the same guy. It's really weird.
No, he looks completely different. And they're not like... This is always my problem. Because there's other TV shows and stuff that have the same kind of thing. And the child goes missing and they come back and they haven't aged and all this. There's no alarm. They're just like, oh my god, I'm so happy to see you. There's no like, why the fuck are you still...
Why haven't you aged?
Why didn't
you go through puberty?
Like, why are you still the same? Like, you would think there would be at least a stagger or like a, what is going on?
But this is also, I mean, you lost the kid when he was this age, and then you found the kid when he was this age, so you'd be like, oh yeah, you look exactly like you did the last time I saw you. Down to the outfit.
It just, there's never that moment of surprise.
Have we located the parent?
Yes, but Phil, look at the date. I ran it through the computer 3 times. It was declared legally dead.
You're alive.
Have I really been gone 8 years?
Where have you been all this time?
Hey, Mom and Dad, I've been hiding in the basement this whole time.
Something like that. Like, it just bothers me. There's no moment of surprise. They're just like, oh yeah, this is great. Life is great.
David?
Not, what is this little kid? Oh, you kind of look like my kid. Oh my god, what is going on?
No, that's my kid. That's my kid.
And then there's a flash to, like, the NASA people with the spaceship.
Right, and a flash, like, we meet his brother, who really shows us, and I'm like, oh, what, did a decade pass? No, it was 8 years.
Yeah, his brother's like, 8 years have passed, and the kid's just like, what?
And this kid is like a douchebag 16-year-old.
Yeah, he's
Jeff.
Not even alarmed. He's like, oh, you're like my big little brother, dude.
I had to go out every Saturday and put up posters for you. Kind of like, fuck you, bro.
You wasted my time. Oh, that girl that you had a crush on, I totally banged her.
Yeah, with my finger.
Just saying. So David is like hearing voices in the hospital, but he has no recollection.
Like vague voices. Maybe not even English. Just
and he has no recollection of where he's been for the past 8 years.
He's like, I don't know what's going on, man. But we do find out somehow the UFO and David are connected.
Well, because basically...
Or we just figure it out.
Okay, so what happens is they hook him up to a brain scan machine at the hospital, and they start seeing all these like, boop, 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 boop.
Oh, yeah.
And so then NASA somehow gets involved, but it's not explained how NASA gets involved, because he outputted that image of the spaceship.
Well, that you contact the federal government and they go, oh, it's NASA. Okay. But really it would be the FBI or something.
Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, parents, we know your kid's been missing for 8 years. We're just going to take him.
But we want to take him again.
No, I'm sorry. See, that also doesn't track. The mom would have been like, that's fine, but I'm going with him because this is my son that I have been missing for 8 years. Fuck no.
Okay, so I agree with what you're saying. However, back then, with how much people trusted the government and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but
people would have been like, oh, just for 48 hours? Okay, this is fine. Yeah,
but I just feel like as a mother's instinct, you'd be like, no, I'm not letting him out of my sight for the next 8 years.
Not my baby boy!
Yeah.
But they weren't even taking him very far, which is where I was confused. I thought they were taking him back to Houston NASA, but I forget always
that there's the Florida
NASA.
Kind of a big NASA where they launch all the space shuttles.
Well, they launch a lot of them in Texas, too. That's where I'm like, oh yeah, I forget that there's 2. Yeah. Which one had the blow up?
I think that was Florida.
Yeah, you never want to go there.
Oh so they take him into the facility and they just basically hooked him up with all these toys and gadgets and crazy stuff.
Second best live TV event of all time, by the way. 9/11 #1.
Oh my god. Sarah Jessica Parker comes on the scene. She's his food nurse. She's basically just bringing him food.
I would probably say this is as hot as Sarah Jessica Parker can get.
Well, and she's like, can I bring you anything else? And he's like, oh, I want a Big Mac and Coke, if they still have that. And she lists off 7 types of Coke that are available now.
But think about now how you'd have to list off 24 kinds of Coke.
I know, but...
Think about the machine at the movie theater, how many kinds of just Coke there is.
It's overwhelming.
That's what I'm saying. It's because, personally, I love Coke Cherry Zero Sugar.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's so good. 8 ounces of that is just...
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
All right, listen. I gotta go. Is there anything else you want when I come back?
How about a Big Mac, large fries, and a Coke? They're still around, I hope.
Well, now that all depends. Do you want new Coke, classic Coke, cherry Coke, Diet Coke, or caffeine-free Coke?
Huh?
Nothing. Forget it.
And so he's like, oh my god, I missed all these things. Why isn't Chips on or whatever show? Or Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch. If it was Chips, that'd be a reason to kill yourself if it was Chips.
But,
Chips is the best.
And it just brings it, like I said, they should have had her help him escape into the thing and she went on the craft with him and that just would have been better. No, it would have made it better. And then there's a super awkward family phone call.
Oh, well, no, we see the fake New Wave video, which is my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This fake, weird New Wave video that he's watching, and they have the perfect fake, Cure song.
It's something.
Going.
Heart of beat coming through.
This guy's breaking his legs.
Yeah, his leg is falling off.
And throwing a cooked chicken down. And I love this part of the movie. It's so cool. Wow, what is that fake song? It sounds great.
I mean, are you sure it was fake?
Oh, yeah, it was fake.
Okay.
The other song later on is also fake.
I assumed it was real, so that's
No. They're all fake, and they're great. They got the best New Wave ripoff band ever.
So I just don't understand, why wouldn't they use, real songs? Because they use real songs in other places.
You don't have to license them, so many.
But
you just have to license one.
Yeah,
Although, it feels like now... licensing the one song later is really expensive, but we'll get there.
But yeah, the family phone call, because when he talks to his dad, he's like, hi, Dad. It's so awkward.
Well, he does have some douchebagel sitting next to him on the phone with him,
monitoring the phone call.
And everybody on the phone call, mom, dad, brother, son, all seem like they're prisoners.
Yeah, they definitely are not in a happy place. And then he gets hooked up to the computer, and this is where they figure out that he's connected to the spaceship, because they're asking him questions, and he's inadvertently giving data
Right, he's giving answers out of parts of his brain he doesn't know how to use.
Right. And about this planet that he went to and the star maps.
And all these people are like high-fiving and being like, yeah!
And then he's like, no, fuck you! And just like throws the thing down and runs back to his room.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to do this. Why do I know this shit? And he meets up with Sarah Jessica Parker again, and he does this cool trick of like, putting his back to the wall next to the mirror that he knows they're watching him in because he beat on him and was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, and he's like, I need you to go to my family and tell them.
Yeah, please go to my parents and tell them what's going on.
Because he finds out he's not going to be there for 48 hours. Like, they're lying.
They're just going to keep him there indefinitely.
Right. And
we even hear, just before this, we hear Faraday go, there's no way we're going to get this in 48 hours.
Right, because that's all they care about.
Yeah.
So he's hearing voices again, and the voices tell him to get in the Ralph unit, which is like the food delivery thing, which is apparently not suspicious to anybody that's just rolling around by itself.
So he gets into the Ralph, and then we get like the best symphonic drum sequence of like,
oh my god. It's too much.
It's like the most 80s thing I've ever heard.
Oh, 100%. He's inside of this old glass looking giant Macintosh computer looking thing, like just rolling down the thing. And they're just like, oh yeah, I'll let you into the top secret thing where the spaceship is.
I really wish we could get the music to play under this, but I don't think we can. But the great music, and it takes him forever in the Ralph.
So long.
All these security guys are just like opening doors for him. He's like, oh yeah, hey Ralph, what's up?
The dog like barks at it, like freaks out.
And he's like, oh, I'll get you breakfast later, dog.
Like that guy would be like, oh, there's something there, we should investigate. Like it's so well, and maybe it's because this is obviously 9/11 and everything.
But also the dog, it could just be food in there, and that's why the dog's being a dick.
But that kind of dog is trained.
Yeah, but you also know your dog might not be like a hundo.
It's not accurate with security.
We're not talking drugs, we're talking people and food and stuff, so.
Just saying. Oh yeah, the 80s music, wow, it's incredible. So he goes to the hangar, and he's able to board the ship, because it just opens up to him.
Yeah, nobody's been able to figure out how to penetrate this ship. Yeah, it just creates a hole and stairs for him to climb up into.
Right. And the little android-y thing...
He's like, you're the Navigator.
He's like, what? And he just gets annoyed with him. I don't even remember what he was saying, but he was just annoyed with the kid. He was like, no, that you are the Navigator. His tone was robotic, but annoyed at the same time.
Right. Well, he doesn't like to repeat himself. Compliance! So
they escape the hangar and the NASA people.
And we get some wacky CPU humor throughout the whole thing.
Yes.
I took us 20 miles straight up. Oh, you didn't want to do that? Oh, let's go 20 miles over. And then, oh, wait, we're going to scan the thing of the Earth, but yet I'm not going to know what pissing is.
Right.
The language
like,
skills.
Oh, the 8 years that I had you, never once did you have to go to the bathroom?
Well, yes, but why in any language would he not understand that an animal has to go to the bathroom?
Right, because he's like, I speak 500 languages, or whatever it was. And they land in some field with cows, and he's like, you have to take me back to my family. And then the NASA people are coming. He's like, fine, I'll take him back if you show me the star map in your brain.
Well, yeah, you have to let me scan your brain to get all of the star
data.
Maps. Yeah, all the datum out of there. And he's like, oh, I chose you for the flight.
Why? Why not?
Why not? Like, I chose everything for this flight. Here are all these crazy critters.
And they're only going to be in one scene.
Yeah, they're going to be in one scene, and I'm taking all these back in time, but for some reason your weak body can't go back in time. We decided.
It doesn't
and he's like laughing and being weird. So, and then we get to the mind scan scene.
Right. And so
he's
now...
like, you're not going to fry my brain, bro, right?
I was designed with a superior intelligence. So then you should know that he's not going to get obliterated if he goes back in time.
But, so, instead of frying his brain, it turns the CPU into a douche.
Right. And
he gets all these human characteristics, and this is where we get the Pee Wee part.
It's so annoying.
I will admit, it's a little douchey and a little annoying, but there are funny bits that come from it.
I hate it.
It's kind of like a 50-50 for me.
I really hate it. So they're road tripping, they're going to Tokyo, they're going across all these California, all over the place. I thought
this was Miami. Oh no, it's Tokyo. Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
Is that what was playing?
That's what he said.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the commercial for Rice-A-Roni in the 70s.
Gotcha.
And 80s and 90s and early 2000s. They really let that one go.
Don't recall.
Yeah.
But then we get the best scene in the movie, I think, is the gas station.
Yeah, easily
scene.
The best scene in the movie.
Because they land and there's this super fat guy, super fat for the 80s.
Wait. There's the direction scene from the dumb kids in the Mustang.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
Which is also pretty good. And then they go over to the morbidly obese guy
at the gas station in Florida.
That must be Big Al.
And the guy is just like staring at the thing, and then the part
and speechless.
Oh my god! Wow.
Like,
I can't drink without my glasses. Are they okay?
They're a little blurry, but I'll fix that later.
They're crooked.
That's fine. They're just as a matter of fact, I'm just going to do this. Okay. They're blurrier than they help.
But he gets changed from Big Al and makes his phone call to his family. In the meantime, he
also gets a Hershey Crunch bar.
He does get a Hershey Crunch bar. But while this is happening, this other family pulls up.
And they're like, "Oh man, you're," because this is like some kind of like roadside attraction gas station. Oh, your alligator thing is terrible, but your flying saucer thing is amazing. How did you do that?
And the guy is just not responding because he's just dumbfoundedly staring at the spaceship.
At the UFO, like anybody would be like, what the fuck? Like, this guy is probably a Christian. He's probably having to reassess his entire belief system.
Yeah. He's like,
in real time.
Oh my God, what is going on? I don't know what's happening.
So this douchebag who pulled up, his kids are like,
see you later, alligator.
Son of a gun. He just said he wanted to phone home.
Oh, they're doing all this stuff. They're taking pictures. And all of a sudden, David just comes up with his crunch bar and some maps, walks up into the UFO, and they take off.
Yeah, like nothing.
And this is where we get the Big Al going, he just said he wanted to phone.
And the guy stares at him like, what? Because E.T. had come out 3 years before this.
Yeah,
so it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he told his family, he talked to his brother, he said, you need to...
Yeah, he called Jeff.
Because he's like, I don't know where the new house is.
You need to give me a signal in the air, and remember it's going to be dark. And Jeff's like, I'll burn the fucking house down if I have to, bruh.
Fucking psychotic Jeff.
Well, yeah, Jeff's a piece of shit. I hate Jeff.
But he finds the fireworks that they kept all these years, which...
Yeah, which half of them are duds. But then eventually, somehow he gets them lighting automatically every second behind him. Once he fails like 5 times, and then the scene where he's talking to his parents, the fireworks just keep going off every second behind him. Beer, beer, beer.
Yeah. And, meanwhile, the NASA guys are closing in because they're going to capture him. And then he rolls up and he realizes that,
Davey rolls up and realizes,
if I stay here, I'm literally going to be an experiment the rest of my life.
I don't want to be a guinea pig, bruh.
Yeah, so he makes Max take him back in time.
Like, all right, if we go back in time, I might get vaporized. I might be a chill bruh, but just take me back in time.
Yeah, so there's a dramatic time travel sequence where it just keeps flashing between Max's like red, watery, gooshy eye to David's face, just like, oh my God, in succession.
Here's another fun fact. David, at this point, had returned home, and they needed to reshoot this scene.
Oh my God.
And he had bleached his hair, so he's wearing a wig during this scene, but none of us noticed.
Oh my God.
Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Yikes. But it's just the dramatic flashing to his face, flashing back to the Max, flashing to the animals, flashing to David, like just neon lights, and then all of a sudden he's just back.
Down in the bottom of the ravine, like, oh, bro, I broke my head on this rock. Oh,
but
what? No.
Somehow he still has all of his memories.
You feeling better, Ocho?
Yeah, so of everything. And he also has the chupacabra with him. So he runs back to his house. He has to get on the boat because they're going for burgers on the boat, bruh.
Yep, and he's like, I love you, Mom. And the parents are like, oh. And then he tells his brother,
I love you, Jeff.
And then the parents are like, what the fuck? He doesn't love his dad, though. He doesn't tell his dad he loves him.
And Jeff is like, are you gay? And Jeff is very confused.
And Jeff sees the chupacabra, and his brother's like, shut the fuck up, or I'll kill you.
Yeah, which in Florida, that just could have been like some kind of rat thing.
And that's the end of the movie. They sail off into the sunset, or nighttime.
Come sail away. Come sail away. Come
you know, it could have ended with him rolling up the next day on his bike and seeing Sarah, a young SJP lookalike, and being like, oh, hey, Carolyn.
I do agree with that whole rewrite part. I was hoping that that's what that was.
What kind of music are you listening to? Because they could have even tied it into when she's an adult, and she could have been like, oh, I used to love that band.
He could have been like Total Stalker 101.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. And
it would have elevated the movie by a lot.
Yes, you're right.
And that's what made me so irritated, because it was such an obvious missed opportunity to me. But... so that's my first award, I guess, and I'm going to call it the Sword in the Stone Missed Romantic Connection, because back when we did Sword in the Stone, we talked about the squirrels.
Isn't that one of our things?
I don't know.
It should be if it's not.
It's not on the list, but...
should be.
The missed opportunity, because that would have been really good.
So I made my own award as well. The Sensonic Drums Perfect Era Music Award, to include the music video and when they escaped, and all the new wave cool music that they made for this movie is spot on.
It's pretty good.
It's The Cure, but it's not The Cure.
I gave a Cloris Leachman Inappropriately Horny Award to Sarah Jessica Parker, because he's 12 and she's
horny.
She said, "You're cute. Did anyone ever tell you that?" And she's like,
did say that.
Standing in the doorway, like with her arm like this. I'm just saying, if there was a definition of inappropriately horny, she's like 20 and he's 12. Just saying.
I gave my Dick Hole Award to Jeff because young Jeff I hate.
He is the worst.
Like, that's a kid that you want to get killed in the Florida forest.
He's the worst.
Like, rape and kill that kid. Who cares? Cut that out. So, do you have any other ones?
I mean, I put a Swiss Family Award for the spaceship flying scene because if they would have had SJP, they could have had interactions with the critters. They could have done something. And and the whole thing with the music, that's where they could have tied in her saying, I used to love that band. And at the end, he would have said, what are you listening to? Oh, I love that band.
Oh, it's Kate Bush.
I'm just saying, they could have had something to tie it all together, and it would have really...
They could have. Like a don't you forget about me kind of scene.
I'm just saying, then people would have been like, oh my god, Flight of the Navigator, it's the best movie ever.
So, I have the PETA Award for the Puck Marin definitely did not make it.
The what?
The little fucking creature
was it called the Puck Marin? Is that what it's called?
Like, that little thing definitely died immediately because it's not meant to live on Earth. Either that or it is the world's most invasive species.
Yeah, and that's the start of global warming.
Yeah.
That thing just killed everything. And that's all I got.
Well, I also gave this a Sword in the Rose award for where the fuck, like, this is a great movie. Where the fuck did this come from?
Well, originally this movie was conceived as an independent film, and then Disney picked it up.
Well, right. It's a wait, I wasn't looking for a movie this good.
I wasn't looking for it, man, and
I was just
found
like,
me.
What? This is a great movie. So, what's your biggest surprise or disappointment?
Well, I mean, I already said at the beginning, I'm just very surprised this passed you by. Because if I saw it, like, I guess I just...
But you were way more Disney-centric. I hated Disney as a rule when I was growing up. Like, I was not a Disney fan.
But this movie doesn't really feel like a Disney movie. It feels like other studio
But
movie.
I was a Disney by accident person. Like, okay, yes, did I like the Quack Pack? Of course. But otherwise, anything Disney, I was like...
No, but it just seems like a movie like, oh, yeah, it's one of those weird movies that my grandma had in VHS or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I didn't live in that kind of family.
I don't know. It's just weird. That's my surprise, I guess, is that it passed you by.
There was none. For me, it was just drums.
Oh my god.
Sonic drums.
Ridiculous.
And so, what about remaking or making a sequel? I think you have a lot of thoughts here.
I did. I mean, I already said the whole SJP thing. I mean, that really took it down a lot for me. Her character was kind of pointless. Like, they could have really made that tie-in and made it kind of feel like, oh, at the end of the movie, more than that.
I think that you could just make this, like, the wokest movie on the planet if you wanted to. You could have, like, the most intersectional character be David if you wanted. You could have it just be, like, a quad-racial... anti-sexual person play that character, and same thing with the spaceship character, and you could just turn it into whatever you wanted.
Sure. Just
make it whatever, and remake this movie into some stupid ass thing.
Well, like, they could have gone to the planet. Like, I don't know. There could have been a lot.
Well, no, because that would have taken another 4 years off his life.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's what I'm saying, is that you could have just... If you remade this, you could just turn it into whatever the tea of the day is and just make it.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, because who cares? And it's a good movie, so who cares? Any final thoughts?
No, it's just one of those, like I said earlier, obscure movies that lives in your childhood that if you're someone around between my age and your age, you've probably seen it.
Yeah. I couldn't help but smiling after watching it. I really like it.
I would have smiled more if they would have done it better. But...
Ooh. Did you get a budget for this film?
$9 million. Low budget.
And how much did it make?
$18.5. Not much.
So, I mean, they doubled their money, which is good, but... Yeah, well, in 1986, Disney was not doing so hot.
No, not so much.
This was kind of a smash hit.
Yeah, they made some money.
Yeah.
Well, no, their live action stuff was doing fine. It was the animated department that was not doing good.
I think everything was
well, and the reason that this became under Disney was Michael Eisner had uncovered this as coming as an independent film, and he said, we're going to acquire that, and we're going to develop it as Disney.
Yeah, smart idea.
So
that's what made it so good. So what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this film is?
I'm going to guess like a 75%.
Well, that's one of them. With the critics, it's 84. With the people, it's 75.
Okay.
So if you had to give this a score, what would you?
I mean, you definitely liked it more than me. I already know that. I have my issues that I've already stated. I don't dislike the movie, but I don't think it's that great. So I gave it a 59%. 5.9 out of 10 tropey 80s moments.
Wow, that is disgustingly low. I gave it a 76%. This is a good movie. Probably semi-infinitely rewatchable.
I mean, I would watch it again, but I'm not going to, like, seek it out. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to watch that again. It's just okay to me.
And with the drums and the music, really fun.
It is okay. The music and the dog catching frisbee opening is very fun. I will say that.
The dog thing is a whole...
But it never comes up again.
That's what I mean.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
It's all on its own. Like,
it's dumb. It doesn't come up again at all.
Well, no, it's great, but it just doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't come up.
Like, the dog could have gone on the thing with him, the spaceship. You know what I mean?
Yep. So this time we get number 199. Oh, wait, hang on. It's time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast. And this time we get number 199.
So this is in the late... I feel like we've had this before. It's either the late 80s or early 90s.
Yeah, we did. Okay, so from 1995, Big Green.
Oh, wow. Good thing you hate that movie. Remember?
Ooh, number 200. Wow, that is a weird roll. Frank and Ollie. Not a real thing.
Do you remember the Big Green? Do you remember Chubby? What's his face? What's that guy's name again? The sheriff guy. What's his name? He was in 3 Men and a Baby.
Tom Selleck?
No. The guy from the movie, and we kept making fun of him because he was chubby, and then he had a horrible accent.
Number 262, which is... Ooh, it's a movie after Freaky Friday.
After the old Freaky Friday or the new Freaky Friday? The new Freaky one. Friday.
We haven't seen the old one yet.
Steve Guttenberg, by the way.
Oh, Goot. Yeah,
yeah, because we were like, he's so chubby and horrible. So wait, it's the movie after Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, Freaky Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What year did it come out?
2003.
So I might have seen this. This was a weird time in my Disney history that I was like kind of too cool, but I was kind of still in.
Diz Hist.
Yeah.
So from 2003, number 262 is Brother Bear. Ooh, Cat makes a face. Not a bad face.
So, okay, Brother Bear. This is a weird one because I've seen parts of this movie and I like it, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
All right. I haven't seen none of it. I have no idea.
Okay, what do you think it's about?
Brother Bear.
No. Make a real guess.
Like the parents died and the brother has to raise the bear?
No, I don't think so.
Or like the person is a bear?
Closer.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good movie, and I think it's sad. I think there's part of it that's like going to make me cry, probably.
Really? Brother Bear is going to be sad? Of course it's going to be sad.
Yeah. Oh, Brother Bear.
Brother Bear.
I'm excited because I don't think I've watched the whole movie. It's in that weird part of Disney animation, like the Treasure Planet kind of era, Atlantis era.
Right, when you were 13 or 14, where teenagers don't watch these
I think this passed me by a little bit. But I've seen parts of it, but I've never seen the whole movie.
It passed me by. In the meantime, like, subscribe, leave 5 stars, do the thing, just do whatever with this if you want.
Check us out on the social media platforms and give us a like and share with your friends. And
especially the old Facebook and Instagram if you want. Just give us a like. Just let us know you listen. That's all we really care about.
Appreciate it.
Just like, bing, we listen.
Appreciate you. I see you. I see you.
I listen. In the meantime, this has been Disney Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm D.
Bye.
The G's tax.
Is it the Jesus tax?
Jesus tax.
Surprised that nobody has Jesus tax. Jesus tax. Gotta wait for David.
Hi, welcome to the party. The party. We took way too long this time.
What do you mean?
Just like doing notes and stuff, and then too much time doing popcorn.
Oh. We didn't start till like 3:30. Watching the movie.
3:30. You good. No, I just meant I'm having trouble with my memory. Jodie Foster and Major the Lion.
I'm not looking. I just thought the top of it was not the correct side. So I was preventing that. Did you get your stuff pulled up?
No. I don't even know where my phone is.
Don't like people playing on my phone.
The G's text. The G's text. God, what number are we on? No, that's not what I said to do.
No. It's not. It's fun.
Cheats. Disney cheats. Nothing's come out since Strange World.
I don't think so, but let me just hold, please.
Dum dum. The G's text. The G's text. Roly poly G's text.
Nope. Just some Marvel stuff, but I think the next one coming out is The Little Mermaid. Isn't it?
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Oh, I thought it would be on there like upcoming, but...
On our sheets?
I don't know.
How would you... Wait, what?
Just never mind. But no, I think it's got a few movies coming out this year, actually. Probably about 5.
This podcast will never end.
That's probably true. We'll be like 80 years old.
Disney bought this company and we gotta keep going. The cheese text. The cheese text. The cheese sticks. The cheese sticks. The cheese sticks.
Oh my god.
Cool guy.
So cool. The coolest. Okay.
Gotta be popping my peas, you know?
I know. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
There's a place that is magical and full of rain. Okay.